in the lives of those who might have lost. And that in itself also come back to harm those who won and strategies to win. They are not ready and willing to join the bus. And that will come to harm your win. And it will take something away from your win.
The just ended NDC primaries did not fall short. Lots of toes were stepped on during the campaign process, and the shocks and surprises witnessed, if not dealt with, will open up already existing cracks in the party. The flag bearer, John Dramani Mahama, is fully aware of this.
Incumbent members of parliament who lost their primaries must also keep their heads up. We need your experience and talents. Above all, we need you in the remaining 1.5 years of your parliamentary mandate.
The former president had earlier rejected claims of a divided party following happenings before, during and after the withdrawal of Dr. Kobna Dufour in the party's primaries.
There's no disunity in the party. Absolutely not. What's the disunity? So one contender was dissatisfied with the process and withdrew. It doesn't mean there's disunity in the party. NDC is a family, and all of them are part of that family. And so, as long as they're willing to come together and let's work towards 2024, I don't think there's any problem.
But some say even if there was, it would just be a drop in the ocean.
So whatever fractures or whatever seeming discords may appear to exist, even if they do exist, do not permeate to the base. Anybody who sits on the fence and says that they have a personal issue and for that reason they won't campaign with the NDC in 2024 truly doesn't love the NDC. And we should identify those people, and the party base would identify them and know them.
Although the party may well be over the chaos, backlash and controversy it suffered during its minority reshuffle, it appears the Member of Parliament for Asawase, Muntaka Mubarak, who himself was involved in a divided Asawase constituency before the primaries, is still bitter and yet to recover from what he sees as a backstab over his removal from the minority leadership in Parliament.
It's been a very difficult contest, not because the contest itself was difficult, but because of the so many interference by people who are outside the constituency. You have a national officer who was calling business people and telling them not to support me. They should rather support my opponent. Okay, God is not your village chief. Now I've won. It was part of the strategy to get me out.
In the face of these cracks, perceived or real divisiveness in the party, what practical steps will the party adopt to contain them, at least to prevent them from blowing up?
I would suggest that they form a committee, because the flag bearer may not himself have that ample time. Do the investigation, listen to all sides, and then send a report to the flag bearer. Once the flag bearer gets that report, then they can pick the individual hotspots. The national executives will not have to take sides, but will have to go down themselves.
How will the surprises, unresolved disputes, and differences affect the party's quest to obtain a parliamentary majority? Dr. Rashid Rahman explains.
It's not looking very good for the NDC. I mean, if you even have one or two people disagreeing with the caucus and voting on critical matters, I mean, then for the rest of the legislative term, the NDC caucus would have a lot of work to do in terms of bringing everybody together. An alternative government in waiting has to be seen as one. But if you begin from a deficit of unity, then I think your chances could suffer.
The success of the NDC in its primaries is a major one. However, the task that lies ahead remains huge.